we are going to do the grand finals from the Hackathon, which just took place on June 7th and 8th, basically across the street. And Qingwei Chen, who is head of the developer program for GraceNote, was my co-organizer in crime. Thank you very much. Again. And sponsor, and for the third time. Everybody give him a big applause. And we had, I would say, roughly about 100 hackers, or maybe 70, 100, I don't know. Yeah. And we had the 3 hack teams who are behind here. The other sponsors, do we have the sponsorship loop? Well, the other sponsors of the hackathon were National Geographic. Yes, please go ahead. The other sponsors were National Geographic, who gave us original content that hasn't even been released to the public. And the Nat Geo people said, do what you like. Cut the content up, use it how you want, put it in VOD, use our older content. They were so open and free and willing to experiment, to let the hackers mess up their IP. And I really just want to thank the people at Nat Geo for being unprotective. I think the hackers really responded to that sense of freedom, correct? They were our I can't speak. They were our, what's the word that starts with an E? They were exclusive content provider, thank you. The other sponsors were DirecTV, who brought in, and there's Matt Thompson over there, and they had a 4-track roll. They set up a dish, live signal. We had 6 to 9 set-top boxes, right? And 8 monitors around the entire room, and so they brought in completely live signal. They brought in their APIs. And I would say most of the projects explored the set-top box platform. We also had Nuance, which was Brian Fife. Are you in the room? I don't know. He's back there. They, of course, voice control. Hey, Brian. And Mashery. I don't know if they're here right now. With Boxfish. Anybody for Boxfish? Owen Dowling? Oh, Kevin Burkett's right here. And we had Bright Cove. Matt McClure, are you in the room? Okay. And we had Peel, the smart remote app people. Okay, they've been here all day. All right, anyway, let's get...
GraceNote.
Oh, GraceNote, I said that at the beginning. GraceNote, of course. So before we get started, I'd like to introduce the judges over here in the corner. We actually did the judging for the 3 finalist hacks, and but I have invited several people. There's no women over there. I just realized that. I've invited various people who I feel really know what they are looking at when they see it. So, of course, we have Zane Vellis, you have Watch With, yay. Adam Lowy from Fish, James Field from Cisco. We have Rich Cusick from TMS, GraceNote, now it's called GraceNote. Matt Thompson from DirecTV, Anthony Rose from Beamly, and Jason Trucco, who also was there the entire day, who's our great director from the project. And of course, Qingwei. All right, so let's watch the highlights reel, just so you can get a sense of what happened.
The future of TV is everybody will have everything they want at all times immediately.
So the idea is to break the wall, the walls between these different API platforms, and then refashion these offerings into a new idea of what the TV of tomorrow is. It's almost like making connections when you're here that you didn't even know existed until you were in this environment.
And we have National Geographic, we have DirecTV, we have GraceNote, we have all of this data, all of this opportunity to be able to take millions and millions of bits of information and organize them in any way that we want to.
We want to build the best entertainment experience across the board, and working with developers and hackers and outside partners that come to shows like TVOT Tomorrow is the way to do that.
It's like fresh blood, young people, young minds, people who are more involved in mobile, people who are more storytellers, coming into this environment and shaking things up. And this particular community is interested in being challenged. They're interested in transforming the medium of television.
When people come to a hackathon, they want to build the newest thing. When people come to a hackathon, they want to have fun. When people come to a hackathon, they want to meet new friends. And that's what this hackathon is.
It's an opportunity to make connections, valuable connections. And I think the most exciting thing is that you're going to meet all kinds of people who will inspire you just in conversation.
There aren't limits in terms of what technology people are using, and it'll be very exciting to see what people come up with when they get to have everything at their fingertips.
This kind of hackathon is awesome because it's a niche space, and it provides really the only way that we're going to get meaningful usage.
I'm excited for anything that makes sense out of that sort of crazy muddle of a universe out there.
That's the name of the game with hackathons. It's really about integration, integrating different APIs, integrating hardware and software. I think the world is connected now with Internet of Things and smartwatches. Your cable box is on the internet too, is on the Wi-Fi.
Bringing tools like HTML5 and being able to let them control the set-top box lets new ideas come in, brings in that ingenuity from the developer community. It's just like a recipe on the Food Network, right? We provide the content, we provide the developer platform, the hackers provide the vision, and you mix that together and you get innovation.
We would love more broadcasters and more companies to get more involved with each other, to collaborate, to find out what's possible.
We're here because we want to feed off of the various ideas and sort of to learn as much as we can. It's a great cross-pollination event.
It just seems to be that people want to understand this space, the hackers and the companies themselves, that there's a need for more experiences like this, and we're happy to provide that.
It's exciting to see that we're not talking in the future tense anymore, we're talking in the present tense.
Thanks. My videographers put that together pretty much in less than 48 hours, so thank you very much, guys. You're here. Well, I think what we're going to do, unless you want to say anything else?
No, just wanted to, thank Tracy. We've been involved with the TVOT Hackathon from the first one last year, and we're so excited to do it. We've done it every time, New York in the winter and then back again now. The exciting thing for us, this was the first hackathon that we came at where GraceNote and TMS are now merged. So this is our first combined outing as GraceNote together. So that was really exciting to engage with the developers, tell them about who we are, who the new company is, and have them check out our APIs.
All right, shall we bring out the first team?
Sure.
Okay, so the first team is called TV Duffel. And you want to come out, guys? Not all guys.
Here we are.
Of course, Mick Darling from Tomorrowish was part of our team. All right. So I think we'll just sort of talk extremely briefly, and then we'll show your presentation. What we did is we videotaped it live. We didn't shoot it twice like we did last time. So this is really what it was like. I have to say, these guys were very charming in person, and to some extent the video doesn't convey that. But I don't want to necessarily tip the hat here, but I think, why don't you just set up exactly what it was in short, and then we'll show it.
Sure. Really, one of the things that I like doing about hackathons, and we did here, is we all came here to meet each other. We didn't know each other beforehand, and got an inspirational idea from one of the main sponsors, National Geographic, started working on it to tie in some of the other things like DirecTV and Mashery's APIs. And I think we came up with a really cool thing that shows off some of the potential kind of, to use a buzzword, T-commerce, but that potentials that are out there for some of this kind of
So
stuff.
so this is Doug Kim, right?
Hi.
Francesca Rossi,
Hello.
Serena
Sue. Hello.
and of course, Mick Darling.
And of course, McDarling. Yeah.
Okay, so why don't we show the TV Duffel presentation, please?
And we haven't seen this before, so I want
No,
to
you
see how
haven't
this
seen it.
looks.
Oh, it needs sound.
All right, by the rich history of National Geographic, let's hit play. We were inspired by this National Geographic, showing us beautiful locales all over the world. And we wanted to help TV viewers go to those locations. So here's how it works. I'm watching a great TV show on National Geographic, and they're traveling all over the world looking for wicked tuna. And in this episode, they go to the Mediterranean. That looks like a really nice place to visit. So I pull out TV Duffel right up here. It shows me nice places. It shows me information about where I'm going. Here it's showing me information about Athens. I can see a map and photos of the city, the local weather, even hotels and flights. And if I want to share that information with Serena here,
Hey, Mick, what do you have over there?
well, there's this really great price in a 5-star hotel. Take a look at the TV.
Oh, wow. We can go there with the money we won from TVOT tomorrow.
I could even book it right now from TV Duffel, but I'm going to have it sent.
Oops.
I could continue if you like.
Okay.
I'm going to have it send me an itinerary of all the information from where I'd want to travel. And that could give me special information about all those shows.
Oh, we should totally tweet it so that Doug over here can use TV Duffel to get the same great deal.
Right, and when we tweet that, it's actually going to be using Peel to have a link in that tweet that he can make sure that he watches that show. So let me send that tweet out.
Hey, look, Wicked Tuna.
And with that, it lets Doug actually make sure that he watches that show and uses TV Duffel, so that way it guarantees that he's watching and interacting with that show. And some of the APIs that we use for this were...
So we extract the location information of the show that's going on using TMS APIs, and so we extract where the show we are looking is set, and we also can use ACR for recognizing in which channel the TV is. So it can be totally dynamic, and it can work for any show. And yeah, and the travel information is provided to us by Hotwire, which is an internet travel provider, and it's part of the Mastery network.
And use DirecTV, correct?
And yeah, we had to extract that information from DirecTV, analyze the information from TMS, know what they're talking about, find those locations, and provide that information up there.
Okay, well, I think that sounds good. I'm going to keep it short, move on to the next project. Any other closing statements about your project? Why did you come up with this idea? Who came up with it, or how, like, why?
All right, so I just got back from a trip from Italy, and
Closer.
hello, and you know, TV has this really great ability to transport you to these different worlds. And you know, as a kid, it was great because National Geographic, they had these really awesome magazines that took you all over, like to places like New Zealand and like really exotic places. So I was wondering, you know, and that's where the inspiration came from. So looking at Nat Geo and connecting travel and mashing it together.
All right, well, congratulations, you guys.
Thank you.
I don't know if there's enough room for everybody, so maybe go off stage.
We'll cycle off. Yep.
Okay, thank you. They actually won the Nat Geo prize, and you also won, what other API prize?
The DirecTV prize and the Mastery prize.
Okay,
and
you're okay.
Peel prize.
Peel prize.
Okay.
Multi-award winning.
Yes. We're all equal opportunity here, though, however. Okay, the next project is?
Curated TV
By IOTV.
by AOTV.
And they won the Newcomer Award earlier this afternoon. This is Mike Earl, who's the CEO of IOTV. He brought his entire team, Texas, Halifax, Nova Scotia. He flew them all the way out. Now, Mike, why did you bring your whole team out to this hackathon?
Well, I think one thing that we've learned is that the harder you put your nose down and deploy with customers, it's really hard to get sucked into your own dog food on a regular basis, and getting folks out of the hive around some really bright thinkers in this space provides some really good context of what we might want to do next, some fresh thinking, and quite honestly, it's a bit self-serving. It's the stuff we've wanted to work on for a while and have had no time to do that in the daily grind of running a business. So getting out for a couple of days, tackling a few things that we thought were really cool that we wanted to do, this is about one of the few opportunities to do that in a really live environment.
But you brought your whole team here, but did you think you met some other people? You were inspired by other things that were going on there?
Absolutely. I think just, in context of that room, and if none of you were in that room or had the opportunity to be there this weekend, there's a buzz that happens in that space during a hackathon where you've got so many technologies coming together, creating new things. We couldn't be happier with the time that we spent there based on the opportunities that we had to work with the sponsors' APIs, the content from Nat Geo, DirecTV. I mean, it's been fantastic.
All right, let's see the curated presentation, please. Simon, curated? Okay.
So first of all, what we wanted to talk a little bit about today is our company's focus has been primarily around merging new sources of content, new things you can do with content around an existing multi-channel linear experience to the television and to other devices that the consumers already have in their home. So what we've got on the screen here is one of our pass-through devices, effectively a small Android device that has uniquely an HDMI input and an output. So we're feeding from DirecTV into the back of the box and from the box up to the screen. So what you see in the background is the live linear channel from Nat Geo being provided by DirecTV. On the screen at the top, to set the stage, these are a set of Android applications that can be chosen by an operator to determine what's interest to their customers. And below it, we're using the Boxfish APIs and the TMS APIs to determine what's trending right now on linear television, getting the poster art from TMS. So we're going to go into a couple navigation paradigms. We'll start with live TV. Again, around that idea of augmenting linear with OTT and new sources of content, we wanted to keep with the anchor tenet of a grid guide. That's what people associate their television with. I'm just going to change the channel up the guide a little bit here. And what we'll see in the grid, and just to be clear, this is a recreation of the guide data that's the actual package on that DirecTV box, re-represented here. If we change the channel in the guide, we're actually going to go through using the DirecTV APIs, change the channel on the box, and there we are. Back to the guide again. We've now put a personalized channel based on Nat Geo's OTT content, including the two assets they've given us to play with through the show today. If we open that, we're going to place their player, stream that content directly into the experience, and now we've effectively merged linear with OTT in a single navigation paradigm without asking the user to switch back and forth. So if we go back to the guide really quickly, I'm just going to change one more channel. That's going to use the DirecTV API to change the linear channel. And back to the launcher, what you're now going to see is the opportunity to go down to what's trending and change that channel in real time on the linear side. So really the goal here is to use all of these APIs that are available to all of us today and around, as we're done here, and find ways to blur the lines to the consumers between what is linear and what is VOD. What we see is that there's an opportunity for a big paradigm shift in what is a cable channel, if you want to think about that. A cable channel is a series of video-on-demand assets played out through a playout facility, but those were chosen 9 months ago, hoping to hit a wide swath across the market. We believe now there's an opportunity for the content owners to actually personalize what feels like a linear channel, but do that assembly back down here at the box level now, instead of broadcasting it out. We want to see a paradigm shift that's about to happen. I think that's the biggest thing we're going to see in the next 3 to 5 years, is a deep curation and personalization of video-on-demand content, and that traditional TV channel will move more to a VOD channel. It actually kind of learns from the user, and that's something we've been doing for a long time, that as the user interacts with the platform, we get a good psychographic profile for that user so that we're not having to actually necessarily make recommendations anymore. Things are presented to the user uniquely for that user. Even in all those VOD channels that we talked about, those are personalized on the fly for the user based on that profile we've built from them, from their previous interactions with the platform, both from live TV, VOD, over-the-top content, and anything that they've chosen to share with social media also helps build that profile. Thanks, guys.
Okay, by the way, I also want to mention that LG sponsored the event by giving us a bunch of LCDs. That was a 4K. They're all around the space as well at the event. So I want to say thanks to Wendell for providing the hackers with some connected TVs for them to all work on at the event. It was invaluable. Okay, so just quickly, you want to introduce your team?
Absolutely. I'm gonna pass it down and make them do their own work. I'm Mike Earl. I'm the CEO.
I'm JD Lacey. I'm the Director of Product Development.
Tristan Dyer. I'm a software developer.
Matt Dontremo. I'm also a software developer.
Jim Anderson. I'm on the business side and marketing.
And that's that.
And what does IOTV do? Tell everyone.
We've been at this about 5 years in the cable space, the DTH space, telecom space, providing a platform that helps operators merge multiple sources of video content into a TV-like experience like this, but really giving them the back office tools for conditional access, packaging, all the things that you really need to have in place to stand up in front of a UI so you can actually make money doing this.
All right, well, thank you very much, gentlemen. Good luck.
Thanks.
I didn't give the judges any time to ask you any questions. How are we doing on time? I don't have the... Really? Okay. Well, do you guys have any questions for them?
I know
No?
Jason always has a question.
We probably don't have time. Okay, let's move on. Let's have Safer. I'm learning every time how to do this. We're still developing this format. Let's have the gentleman from the project called Safer. Come on out. All right. Now, the first team were a group of people who didn't know each other. The second team were a group of people who were a pre-formed team. And how did you guys come to the hackathon? Did you know each other before?
We knew each other before, but this is when we came into the hackathon and we're trying to we actually formed the idea right on the spot.
Okay, why don't you introduce yourselves?
I'm John Carl Bison. I'm a web developer and a co-founder of Sleek Geek, a mobile education app company.
Hi, I'm Adar Shupala, and I'm a software developer and entrepreneur, co-founder of GoGo Hire, a hiring platform.
Hi, my name is Peter, Peter Ma. I'm the founder of AdTap, still stealth.
Okay, so why don't you describe your project, please?
So what we essentially have built is sentiment analysis on all the closed captioning. Hold on. So eventually, this way, so this weekend, we were able to build out 3 great features. First being customized parental control. This way, through DirecTV API, we pretty much able to tell what channel your children are watching. This way, when there's profanity or when the content gets too negative, you can receive a text message, and also through DirecTV, we can shut that down. Second is basically measuring. The first one, you can also basically put a customized, such as like religion or profanity, like all the languages you don't want to hear. You will also receive those notifications. Second is basically the sentiment for closed captioning. So we're giving a score based on how positive or negative the content actually is. A lot of times when we watch TV, we only focus on the content. And we kind of ignore the psychological effect of the words that they use by news anchors. This is through the mobile app using Grace Note. You can tell what the channel you're watching, and through our app. Now you can actually see whether the program is trying to use negative languages to trigger our fear or anger, or is it actually being neutral.
Let's look at the presentation so they know can see.
All right.
This is Safer.
So we're doing a little sentiment. When we're watching TV, we usually don't know what the anchors or people are talking about. So we're doing text analysis on the captions of everybody, all the positive and negative things that people are talking about. We're going to show you a little demo here.
So as a parent, I'm interested in what my child is watching. I may be not at home, and so we run analysis on each caption, and if it becomes too negative, you get a text message, and this is interesting content.
This is all real hack. We're pulling the exact caption of the. Okay, now I got it. See, Siki. Yeah, now that I got it. So this is actual exact content that we're pulling off the Boxfish using a real-time caption feed. as you can see. We integrated with the Grace Note as well for parents. A lot of times, a lot of news start getting more and more negative to draw our attention. And we usually don't notice it. We get really angry, but in reality, it's the media that make us really angry. If we can turn something really loud, I can actually use Grace Note to search for something. But
my all-time stellar 4-cheese
found it.
mac and cheese creation just went down the drain.
The camera's up there.
So right now, as you can see, I actually pulled this off the Grace Note. That was a real hack. That was not just made up. And now it's actually pulling all the captions and it's doing all the calculations. On the bottom, you can see is whether the comment is neutral, positive, or negative. On top is the latest caption. Is still coming. So I never cook Asian food. That's very neutral. And from sniffs, neutral. And from here, you can see that you can see when things are getting too negative. You can see, okay, this is actually different. It would actually affect the your viewingship. So we basically use one of the sentiment API that like one of the HP offers to get the calculation. If you get the words like love, pretty, you'll get a positive score. If you get stuff like hate, you get negative score. And then that's how we actually view the content. You might ask, why don't you just want to do the entire caption of the TV? We actually asked Boxfish. That was our first idea to even tell the users what it is. But the thing is, this stuff is copyrighted, heavily copyrighted, so we can't actually do it even if we want to. This actually works. So if you guys want to look at Fox News, we can have some. Okay, let's try it. Lindsey Graham.
Killers loose. Fought along our side, how they must feel in Afghanistan. And can you imagine the threats that Americans face today because of this precedent of dealing with terrorists, and every American certainly knows.
Thank you.
They actually did several tests on Fox, and it definitely rated more and more red. Okay.
If I can add that, so from my personal experience, closed captioning is not a feature that I use personally, but as a developer, I found it really interesting to take the closed captioning content and be able to analyze that in a different way than it is intentionally or intended to be used. And that was kind of an innovative way of hacking.
And also just add one more thing. Like TV closed captioning API is really hard to find these days, especially the open ones. And what you just saw, I believe, is one of the first closed captioning API. After the hackathon, we decided to open source the streaming of the closed captioning on live TV with our integration with Boxfish. So this way, all the other developers can actually use it for their innovation purposes. Our app is actually ready to launch, by the way, once we get a agreement from Grace Note and Boxfish.
All right, thanks very much. Would you like to ask them any questions? Because we also need to move forward pretty quickly. No? Okay. All right, gentlemen, thank you very much. And you won which API prize? Did you win an API prize? Or
we won the Boxfish as well as the Grace Note.
All right, good. All right.
Also, this is one of the hard code channel. As you can see, the app, the technology we built actually works.
All right. We don't have a lot of time, actually. So, do you want to go off stage and confer briefly, or do you feel that you? Okay, just a minute. Now we also have someone. Matt, are you in the room? Matt Tyndall? Where did he go? Matt? Oh, there he is. Matt won our grand prize the first year. He also flew out to New York and did our hackathon in December. We had a massive snowstorm. Have a seat. That was sponsored by Comcast and NBC. Can you tell us a little bit about your experiences and how it's affected your life?
Yeah, so I've been to all 3 TVOT hackathons, and I plan on being at many more in the future. So last year, I won with a simple thing. At the time, it was called Time Pressure. We changed it to Showdown. And that was basically puts a time limit on help you decide what to watch. So that was something I came up with and built in a few hours on a Sunday. And it definitely, like coming out here and meeting everybody, and all the connections I made from this definitely has shaped the course of our startup. And then in December, we came up with actually something new. We came up with just for the TVOT Hackathon. It's a product called Curve, which we've actually been developing for the last 6 months. We were a finalist with that, and we've now built it enough that we were able to hack on it at the hackathon, but it wasn't quite good enough to be a finalist. But the actual product, not the hack, is ready to work, be used. And so the product we're building is called Curve, and it's a way to provide feedback for videos. And the way it works is really simple. People draw on their mobile devices or web a curve indicating how they like the different points in a video. So after you watch something, you have a little timeline, and you can just say, this part was really good, this part was bad, but I like the ending, so it's a very easy way to provide feedback without having to find the words and stuff. So.
And you also have the ability for people to upload their own video comments, right?
Right.
So sort of social context.
Yeah, so adding annotations. For the hackathon, we did a video thing to record selfies at a specific time point for like a Game of Thrones reaction style thing. So there's lots of things like that planned. So.
How are we doing, judges? No?
I can talk more.
What? Okay, keep going.
But yeah. So yeah, no, TVOT is definitely challenged me to think what is, so I came up with Curve because the first hack felt more like it was for, I pitched it for Netflix style, like deciding what to watch. And Curve was designed more for the TV experience. And it, coming back to these every time, it's challenged me to think more and more about what TV could be. And for me, Curve was a way of more accurately representing something that can span multiple episodes, multiple different types of content across time. So,
like, well, the community that did show up, and you can see that we're really excited about doing this because we wanted to invite the Silicon Valley community. We wanted to invite, all kinds of people who don't necessarily know about interactive TV but are curious. So there were various people there who knew, like IOTV and some other teams. There were individual companies there observing, in stealth, who didn't actually hack. There were people there, kids who didn't know anything about interactive TV, and I provided a lot of, I tried to provide some education about the various terms that we deal with all the time, just the basic concepts. I provided guidelines, what judges might recognize, like what is a two-screen app. I think that the goal is to try to bridge these two communities, the traditional with the huge, very dynamic San Francisco, Silicon Valley-based crowd, that knows that video is an important part of our world, but to some extent may not watch traditional television. This way, working with Nat Geo, we showed them, right, that it was possible, you could hack it, and then our theme, of course, was break and remake. And I think they really respond to that, right? Is break through those APIs, remake it, do whatever you want to it. It doesn't have to be traditional television.
And it's huge that companies like Nat Geo come out and say they want to work with startups. They want people to show that they have new ideas and give access to the content. So I encourage other companies and studios to reach out and sponsor or offer your content or APIs for these hackathons, because you never know what's going to come out.
Just like in that last session about storytellers, we need the broadcasters and the technology companies and the pay TV operators to take some risks. If you really want to push this medium forward, if you want to continue to build the industry forward, we're going to have to stretch ourselves. Judges, have you conferred? Are we finished? Guys?
They're not looking.
I should have had a time, like a clock, countdown. Anybody have any questions or anything they want to say about it? Kevin, Burkett, are you still here? Oh, yeah, there you are. You want to say something about Boxfish's involvement? Come on up. Uh-oh, you're too late. Sorry. The judges have conferred. I apologize that there are no women on that stage over there. Have you come to a decision, gentlemen?
We have, but I think we wanted to just say 2 comments on each to give a little bit of feedback on but literally 2 minutes, I think. So I'll just kick off with number one. I think we thought that it made the best use of multiple APIs and actually was a real living, breathing product that was developed over a weekend.
And I guess Safer TV, great approach, a lot of interest there from MVPDs on keeping their subscribers safe and making innovative use of the closed captioning, which is pretty cool, and also developing something on the day, which was really good.
Safer TV, I thought was a very good idea, good use of closed captioning. My one concern there was it might have been a little bit too late. In other words, you just saw what happened, and now you feel like you're a bad parent. That's how I looked at it. But great idea, great product. I thought TV Duffel was very smart, as you mentioned before. I think there's a product there and something to work with.
I think on the second, the fusion of, what was it again?
Curation.
Curation. TV, right? The fusion of on-demand and linear, I think we all see tremendous potential in that concept, but I think in the spirit of a hackathon, I think we felt that that was a little bit more preordained, where we saw more of the true hackathon spirit of experimentation in the others.
Yeah, what I really love to see about all three of them was just the whole integration of TV. They're all found different problems to solve in different ways, because they're all the problems of how do you blend in OTT content? How do you create a safe environment for kids? How do you expand beyond what's on the TV into other devices and let you actually travel and get up off your couch? So I think that was really great to really see that across the three different projects.
Great. And I think for curated TV, I was really impressed that they identified a problem that I wouldn't have thought was a problem in terms of how to move back and forth between different devices and HDMI connections and things like that. I identified it as a pain after the fact, but it's not something that I would have identified before. And I'd like to really commend the TV Duffel team for arriving and forming a tight-knit group and design thinking and spending some time, with the material and having the answers come from the material.
By the way, just as a point, I wanted to thank James Field for inviting me to judge his hackathon many years ago, because, as I said to him earlier, that gave me the courage to think it was possible, and it was really cool. I had a great time, and so that's really what got me thinking that we should bring that to this community. So thank you very much. That was through NDS at the time. All right. You have the decision?
So yeah, all the hacks were great. You can see all of them on hackerleague.com. But Gracenote is very proud to present the TVOT Hackathon Award for 2014 to TV Duffel. Come on up.
They get $6,000. $6,000. How are you going to split that up? Oh, yay. Congratulations. What? Okay. Where's my, there, he's right there. Okay. How are you going to split that up amongst the four of you? You do the math.
We already sold the rest of the prize.
Oh, yeah, they also got the Nat Geo swag. They got a Cosmos book. They got a huge world atlas. They got hats, 2 raincoats with Nat Geo brands on it. Got 100.
GoPro cameras. They cleaned up.
They got some GoPro cameras. Yeah, they did well. But you know what? Thanks so much to the other teams. You're so passionate about your work. We love what you did. Thanks very much.